Hey guys, what's up? It's TF Knight here. Welcome back to the channel. And today we're taking a look at the Marvel Legends series Old Man Logan and Old Man Hawkeye 2-pack, which is also basically from the X-Men series of Marvel Legends figures that we're getting here. Very surprised that this ended up being a thing. I saw the images for Old Man Hawkeye and thought that was going to be a single figure. I was just surprised to get a figure like that. Also, I really liked what they were doing with the body mold. And now it was revealed, I think a little over a month ago, that this was going to be a 2-pack. And it actually came pretty quick. Originally, I thought this was supposed to come out in November, but Amazon actually bumped mine up, and a lot of other people's up to late August. So I have it here to review. I will be making a few comparisons with the previous Old Man Logan, so you can take a look at that. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at this packaging. I think it's very well done. The entire box is really cool. I like the color choices that they're doing for these new X-Men series. You have the nice yellow going on. It says Marvel's Logan, Marvel's Hawkeye. You see the figures and all of the contents in the box right there. And then you see on the top, it has Marvel Legends series and that nice X logo again. When you look on the sides, you have some really good artwork of some side profiles for Old Man Logan. When you reverse that side, it's going to be the same. But, you know, with Hawkeye, and he's also got a side silhouette, and it's really, really cool. Not really a silhouette, but you know what I mean, a side profile. On the back, you have that same artwork that was on the sides, but this time you can see it a little bit better. And then on the bottom there, you can see it's just a bunch of stuff, as well as the barcode right there. So let's go ahead and get these figures out of the packaging. So here are both figures out of the packaging, and it's a pretty solid set. I do have a few issues with the figures, but I mostly have positive things. One negative that I'm just going to go ahead and get out of the way is the price point. It's a $50 set, which can be a little pricey. So that's $25 a figure. That's something that I've been noticing with these new X-Men figures that have been coming out that aren't really part of a Build-A-Figure wave, is that they're a little bit more expensive. But I do think it warrants that price a little bit with the accessories that we come with. So I will be doing, again, a comparison with the Old Man Logan in a little bit from the previous few years ago. And I'll talk about Logan first here, then a Hawkeye, looking at their accessories right now. So I'm not showing off everything that they come with in this image here because of, like if I do the heads, it's going to look weird the way I've done the top-down position with the image here. But I am going to show off everything, don't worry about it. Starting with the stuff we've gotten before. And this here is a bow and arrow that we've gotten many times with previous Hawkeye figures. I've kind of grown a little tired of it just because it could be pretty flimsy here. I'm not a fan of what they did with the string. It's just molded in this black. I just wish it was a real string. That they would never, that's way too much effort. So they would never do an actual string, but that would at least be cool. The sculpt itself isn't horrible. It's just kind of hard for him to hold sometimes. Now, the hands that Hawkeye comes with are a different sculpt than what we've gotten before, so he actually does hold these a little better, and I'll show it off later. He also comes with a quiver. It's all black that we've gotten a couple times, and it looks fine. I just also wish he came with some arrows, that this was empty. We could put arrows in it. I don't like that it's just molded like this, and it's just kind of in a plain black plastic. This peg here is fine. It's actually a little loose on his back, and I'll show that off later. But overall, it's an okay quiver. Maybe something a little better next time. Now, we've also had these hand sculpts for the Logan here with different figures, and they're just these open hands. Not much to talk about here. We've also had this head right here with previous Old Man Logans. And it's fine. The sculpting itself is pretty good. Previously, though, the paint apps were not great. The skin tone didn't really match the rest of the skin tones on the figure when it comes to the face. It was like too tan. I'll show off what he looks like later with his head sculpt. I think they've sort of fixed it this time around. I think this eye might be a tiny bit wonky, but get a closer look. It's not too bad. Might be a little bit of a speck right there. So, yeah, pretty good sculpting. I like the hair. Now for the new stuff. Old Man Hawkeye comes packaged with a longer haired head, and then we have this one with more of a ponytail and the sunglasses. This is an awesome head sculpt. I think this a lot. It's really well done. I do like the different white paint going on in the gray sculpted hair. It looks really good. Nice wrinkles. A little bit of skin tone bleeding through on that beard right there, if you can see there. Overall, very clean. We also get a new bow and arrow, which is not the same sculpt, but a similar sculpt to the previous bow and arrow. It's done pretty well. It has, I don't know what this, well, a lot of the mechanics going on here, but it just looks better. I like what we have right here with the strings. I don't know what this cross section is supposed to be, this, but then there's an arrow in there. Nothing moves, of course, but he does hold this pretty well. And this is a really awesome piece. So I dig this a lot. It's just kind of molded in black and gray plastic though. And then you have a little bit of silver, I want to say, yeah, silver on the arrow here. So not the greatest paint, but a really cool sculpt. We also have the Baby Hulkling. I forget if it's just Baby Hulk or Baby Hulkling. I think we got this with a Mezco. Not this exact same sculpt, of course, but I think we got a Baby Hulk with the Mezco one. I don't have that one anymore to show off for comparisons, unfortunately. But it's cool that we are able to get one through this 2-pack. You see the binky right there. Really nice dark green paint with some black hair. I really like the black wrapping. So a little bit of some gloss, I want to say, going on in here. So that looks pretty cool. Nice little hood. Doesn't have any sort of articulation whatsoever, but it's still a cool piece to have. This might be one of my favorite accessories out of the whole set so far. So yeah. So here's the new head sculpt for Old Man Logan. The way that the light's being shined through isn't really helping this too much because this is casting a shadow, but I think it looks really good. One problem I have is that the hat is not removable. I wish it was, because I just want to see this head sculpt in its entirety, you know, without the hat. That would have been cool. And I like this head sculpt more than the previous head sculpt. It's still, you know, the previous one is still good. This, to me, I think is just a little bit more comic accurate. With the previous head sculpt, I think they were just kind of basing that off of previous unmasked Wolverine heads that we got and doing an old version of that. This, again, to me is more comic accurate. It's really well done with the eyes. I like the beard. It could have a little bit better paint. It's just kind of a flat gray. Overall, it was really nice, though. I like the hat. The hat's pretty cool, though. If you don't care about this head sculpt, you can just cut it off, take this hat off, and then hollow it out and make yourself a hat. But, you know, keeping it on there, I guess, is your only option. Not much you can do. I think with the sculpting, there's not really much going on. It's just kind of flattened off in the head. So, yeah, this is a really nice body. And I like the coat. The coat really helps. I've always liked this body, and I've liked the new stuff that they made for this guy. But it's very much the same as before. Legs are the same with some nice wrinkles, and this time they have a little bit more denim when it comes to the detailing. And the belt is the same. The arms are the same with a little bit of a lighter brown this time around in the molded plastic. There's those legs again. You see those seam lines on the pants. They look really cool. Nice rips and tears for this coat. Never seen this coat before. I believe this is a brand new sculpt. It's not too heavy either. They have a little bit of some dry brushing on here. Not really dry brushing, but just a little bit of paint apps to make it look a little dirty. Could be a little better, but you know, not too bad. The silver on the buttons are actually really clean. This undershirt here is the same that we've gotten before. So what's going on there? There's some kind of grease or something. That was weird. Hands are the same. We've gotten these with many Wolverine and Logan figures, Old Man Logan especially. These popped out as soon as I took it out of the box. Some of these hands or these claws popped right out, and they just slipped out so easily. And it took me forever to find them again. But that might be an issue. I don't hate this system. I think it's really the only thing that they can do for Wolverines, at least for the time being. They've done it for years. But if these claws popping out super easily out of the packaging without me even touching the hand, if that's going to keep being a problem, I don't know if it's going to be a problem for future releases, but it's potential that it does. And that's just going to be a problem. And that's not a bad system, though. Especially the fact that you can get custom, some like more metal and other hard plastic custom claws for these. So that's my little spiel right there on the claw system. There's not much else I want to talk about. I mean, the boots are the same too. I don't know if these exact boots have been reused for different figures, but these are definitely the same sculpt as the previous one. And again, I'm going to show off that old Logan in a little bit. So, not much else to talk about. That's why I wanted to talk about this guy first, because not much new, except for this new head sculpt that he comes with. Articulation is also the same. Head can go, and the head doesn't want to pop up very much. The coat also kind of gets in the way of head articulation. But the head wants to go up and down, side to side, a little bit of a pivot. Arms can go in and out all the way around. You do get upper arm swivel, which is actually really stiff right here. It was kind of stiff on the previous one too. Double jointed elbows, swivel at the wrist as well as a hinge at the wrist. We do have an ab crunch that goes forward. The back is not the greatest because of the coat. Waist twist, legs can go forward. Back is kind of stiff actually. In and out, upper thigh swivel. I think there might be some, that might be some stuff in the plastic, but to me they kind of made the denim look a little dirty. Again, to me that kind of looks like the plastic. We have double jointed knees. We do have a swivel here actually at the ankle. And it's actually really cool because the cuff of the pants doesn't get in the way too much. Just a little bit, not a lot. And then a down motion for the ankle and then an ankle rocker. So, pretty good articulation. So for a side-by-side comparison, here's the previous Old Man Logan, which is on the left, with the new Old Man Logan, which, as you can see, is on the right. And you can tell some similarities and differences right away. The biggest difference, I think, of course, is the head sculpts that they come with, which, I mean, the new Old Man Logan comes with that previous head sculpt, but it also has the additional head sculpt, which it was packaged with, of course, and the coats. With the previous Old Man Logan, we have just this dark brown bomber coat with this nice sort of like a fur collar. And then with the new one, we have definitely just a more of a duster coat, which I think fits a little bit better with Old Man Logan. But I still like the previous jacket too. It also can be used for different characters and custom and fodder and all that. The arms are the same, but I actually think that it's done a little bit better on the previous one. Because there's a little bit of a black wash in the dark brown there, whereas with the new arms, it's just a light brown. Now, I think the skin tone is a little bit more consistent with the new one, where there's exposed skin. When you look at the head sculpt on the previous one, it's just way too shaded, way too tan, and the rest of the skin is just way too fair. Whereas with the new one, it's a little bit more consistent. There may be a few inconsistencies here and there, but it's not as bad as the previous one. The pants and the belt, as you can see, very similar when it comes to sculpt. I do think they added some additional details for the pants on the new one to make it look a little bit more of like a denim type of material, whereas with the previous one, it's more of a sleeker, more of like a khaki type of material that they were going for. But the color differences are definitely there. The belt buckles are just completely different colors. We have a gold belt buckle for the previous one and a silver belt buckle on the new one, and different colors for the belts themselves. It's a little bit more of a lighter brown with the previous. The shirts are very, very similar. I think the red is a little bit darker on the previous one and a little bit lighter on the new one, but the sculpt is the exact same. And when it comes to the boots, I think they actually did a little bit of a better job on the previous one. I like the darker color a little bit more on the new one, but you can see that additional sculpting on the top of the boot there for the previous one. But overall, there's not much difference. I think it's different enough to warrant having two different versions. So if you want one version, you can stick with the Old Man Logan that was previous if you wanted to, or you can get the new one if you don't like that one, or never got the previous one. It's not going to be like super different to where it's not going to look that good if you want to do different types of images and displays. They're similar enough to where it's two different versions, of course, but they are not that different, so they can fit still with each other. And now the figure you all have been waiting for, and I really like the Old Man Hawkeye here. It's really well done. The head sculpt's pretty cool. I don't know how I feel necessarily about the floating hair, but it's not horrible. I do like the silver, well, it's not silver, it's gray, and like the white painted on there. The gray from the sculpt is bleeding through just a little bit, so it's not the most consistent paint job, but it's not horrible. The sculpting in the hair is a little broken. If you could see, it's mostly visible here where you see where that ear is. So it looks a little ugly, but head on right there, these strands of hair, they cover that head on. To the side, maybe not so much, but it still looks good. The sculpt of the face is really awesome. I really like what they did with the beard. Could have a little bit more paint, but still looks nice. The eyes came out really clean. I like the wrinkles there too. It's overall just very clean. Now with the straps and the satchel here, they are removable. You just got to pop off the head. And really for the satchel, you have to pop the head off, and you can actually remove this arm straps pretty easily, just slipping through the arms. They are soft plastic, so it's not going to tear when you slip them through. And they go back on just as easily. This body mold is unique, and it's really well done. I believe it's just for this figure. Please correct me if I'm wrong. If there was a figure that used this body mold before, I need to get it because it's a fantastic body mold. Nice wrinkles in the shirt, as you can see. The way that they have even the collar of the shirt is really cool too. And the arms are pretty well done. What they did here is that this right arm, first of all, the pinless technology, that's pretty cool. Now swap, if you want to do like swaps where you have the pegs, that might be a little difficult, but still, it's pretty cool. The wrapping here, I believe, is molded into the arm, so the skin tone is painted. And looking at it head on, I can't tell. I can tell a little bit of a difference. Let's rotate this arm. So it's a little bit darker with the arm on the right. It is pretty consistent though. It doesn't look too bad. Sometimes they'll do that to where it's like molded in black, and then they put the skin tone on there. For a perfect example, I have the new Punisher. And look at that. That's molded in black and doesn't look very good with the skin tone on there. These arms might... No, they're not. I thought they were the same as the Punisher, but they're just... On the Punisher, they're way too beefy. That's his right hand. Never seen this right hand before. Pretty cool. Some of the black from the gloves bleeding onto the arm a little bit. And some of the skin tone is actually on the fingers and the palm, so that's a little messy. This hand's pretty clean, though. There was some excess plastic here that I had to get off. And it was kind of... It's kind of weird how they did it. When you bend this elbow, the sculpt kind of looks a little weird around here. So I'm not really digging that too much. Not a problem on this side here with this arm. So, yeah, I think I actually see some of this, whatever the color is supposed to be for the bandage or the wrap or whatever, bleeding through a little bit on the back here. So that's a little disappointing. We have the nice silver buckle. I dig that a lot. The belt's also pretty cool. The pants I think could use a little bit better of paint, but the sculpt is pretty cool. It's kind of like a khaki color, like a brown. It's on camera, these upper thighs don't look as consistent as these. I think it's a different type of plastic being used. But nice pockets, nice wrinkles being sculpted here. Dig that a lot. And that's what the back of the knees look like. And you can see the knees here, they're kind of like these knee pads. They look really good. Some more wrinkles towards the bottom of the boots. And then we have, or really the top of the boot actually. And then the boots themselves, which look really great. They're really well done. There's some excess plastic here I just noticed, so that's got to go off. That's kind of, it's kind of troublesome. But these boots are friggin' fantastic. I love the sculpting on these boots. Let's do it upright. Look at the side, the back, and all that. I'll zoom out so that way you can get a little bit of a better view of this guy. Trying to focus the best I can. And the sculpt here is just really awesome. Again, I want to see this reused with some character. I don't know what they can use this for, but I just want to see this body mold again. I really, really like it. It's very simplistic. It's just basically a normal outfit, kind of like a survivalist. It can be used for, you know, some mercenaries. So that's just awesome. That's the main reason why I'd like to see this body mold again, is because of, you know, get some mercs. So articulation is pretty basic. The head, with this head sculpt, I don't know about the ponytail yet, but the back of the head is a little bit hindered because of the hair. But it could go up still pretty fine, down just as nice. side to side, a little bit of a head tilt. We do get a butterfly joint in here. So you just go a little bit forward and back. Arms can go all the way around here. A little stiff. In and out. Upper arm swivel. We do get double jointed elbows. This one's pretty stiff right here. This hand is in and out. All this hand is up and down, but they both have a swivel. We also get a waist twist and an ab crunch, and the sculpt on the shirt where the wrinkles are is a little bit broken because of the, you know, the smoothness, but it's not the most ugly looking thing in the world, I think. We also have legs that can go forward. Now the back is not the greatest. These are a little stiff. In and out. Upper thigh swivel. We also get cool double jointed knees. We get a boot rotation. Bend at the foot, and that bend is really awesome. Look at that. Look how high that goes. Look how far that goes. That's just great. And then we get the ankle rocker. So very cool articulation. So for size comparisons, as you can see, we have the Old Man Logan and Hawkeye with the young Logan and Hawkeye. So we have, I think both of them were from 2018, which is the Apocalypse series Wolverine and the second vintage wave Hawkeye. And then we have the Marvel Legends Professor X on the left, and then we have Magneto on the right. And then we have the Winter Soldier on the left, as well as the new Punisher on the right. And then we have the new Walmart exclusive Cable on the left with the new Spider-Man on the right. And then last but not least, we have the Stan Lee figure on the left and the 90s Deadpool on the right. So to end this review, I'm going to show off what both of these figures look like with some of their accessories. I'm going to mix and match some of them. Overall, this 2-pack is pretty good. Is it worth $50? Honestly, I think that's a little high. Definitely worth 40, maybe just a little more, but 50 I think is pushing it just a tiny bit too much. However, it does come with a good amount of accessories. Everything that you see here is pretty well done. Some of the accessories I can do without, and I also wish that the Old Man Logan actually had a removable hat so we can see the rest of that really nice sculpt, or what could have been a really cool sculpt with the new head sculpt. But overall, I'm pretty satisfied with this set, especially with the Old Man Hawkeye. That figure has really cool custom and fodder potential. And if you don't have the previous Old Man Logan, then go ahead and pick this one up. If you have that one and you're not interested in the Hawkeye figure, I would recommend passing on this 2-pack. But overall, it's pretty well done with just a few minor issues. That's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. If you're looking for this set, I got mine on Amazon. It's not going to be that hard to find online. I don't know about stores, but I don't believe this is a store exclusive. So check Big Bad Toy Store, maybe even Entertainment Earth. Overall, very cool set that I think a lot of people are going to like. Thanks again for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below what you think about the figures, what you think about the review. Leave a like, share amongst your friends, and I will see you guys later.